Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, how are you?
Good. How are you?
How are you? Oh, sure. All right. Um, Today we have, let's see what I got here. Open it. Okay, right here. So I'm gonna open my the class so you can see my announcement. So this is week 16, and you continue reading chapter 3, chapter 14 to finish it. And then the assignment, just complete this next semester project. I'm going to make the final exam review questions available in the final exam model right here. I'm going to put it right here so that you can use it to practice. Use it for practicing. Just give me 1 minute. Let me put these names. Bring in this paper. Gaspard. Jarvis. All right. So I'm putting it here under this model 10, and then this is where the final exam will also appear. It's ready. So to be like final exam practice, you do it in my MATLAB. So just to prepare you for that. Then the final exam will be same here place as well. There's no other assignment due except to complete the one that I already due. So let's begin. Now, we round up with the multiple regression. We already did the regression, simple regression last week. Now let's look at multiple regression. Multiple regression, what we do in multiple regression is to use more than one independent variable as a means to explain the variation in the dependent variable of interest. Yeah, that's basically what we do there. For example, a grocery store may want to know if there is a relationship between the household mere consumption of their customers. Their customers' household mere consumption, and if they are related to their annual household income and the sample size of the family. So you can see that the mere consumption becomes the Y variable. I'll make it Y, it's Y, which is the dependent variable. And then the annual household income will be the size of the family will be the independent variables. Now, multiple regression, the model is how the model looks like. So Y equals B0 plus B1x1, B plus B2x2, all the way to the last independent variable, xk. So the Y here represents the predicted value, Y, given the values of the x1, x2, all the way to the last x. Okay. They have the first in the independent variables x1, x2 to the last xk are the independent variables of interest. Then k is the number of the independent variables in the regression model. B0, as usual, is the intercept, y-intercept of the regression line. B0 is the y-intercept of the, B1 is the, B1 is the, is Masha. Only one Masha here. B1 is the average change in the dependent variable y due to 1 unit change in the x1 with x2 and the rest of the x variables constant. Excuse me. B2 is the average change in y due to the unit change in x2 while holding the other independent variables, x1, x3, and sk constants, and so on like that. So you have bk as the average change in the y due to the one unit change in the sk with other independent variables s1, s2 to sk constant. Now, as we're gonna do how to estimate the B0, B1, B2, and B3 for the multiple regression model, and then interpret, explain what they mean, given the data set we have. So the regression coefficients, and when we're doing a multiple regression, simply predicts the change in a dependent variable due to the 1 unit increase in all the independent variables. I mean, in the independent variable, why some of them are held constant. So now let's do one example. Let's try one example. Now we're gonna be doing it using Excel. Because like I said, for multiple regression, you can spend the whole day trying to get the values for B0, B1, B2, B3. It's a very long, challenging process. So, but Excel simplified it. So let's use Excel. Okay. We're going to be using Excel for that. Now look at this question here. It says that a dairy cooperative want to examine the household milk consumption based on the annual household income XLN and the size of the family. See, they want to examine household milk consumption based on the annual household income and the size of the family. So the data for 15 randomly selected families are shown on this table here. You can see the milk consumption, quantity of milk consumed, income, and family size. This part, family, is just a serial number, so we're not going to use it for the analysis. And it says here, use the above data to answer the following questions. Find the regression equation, interpret the regression coefficients, then what is the predicted milk consumption for a family with annual income of 50,000 and the size of a family size of 4 people. Now, this is the milk consumption in watts per week. This is the income in thousands. That means this one is 45,000, this one is 55,000. Then this is the family size. So like I said, to use this, to use multiple regression to solve this, you have to get 4 equations. Right? They call it the you get the equations. You're gonna form the equation using these variables here. Normal equation, they call it normal equations. And then figure from there, you can now figure out. Usually, during my school days, we use what they call the matrix to solve that equation to get the value for B1, B0, B1, and B2. Or we can use the simplex method. That can take you the half of the whole day. But now we can use Excel. Can make it. With Excel, you can have it done in a few minutes. So the first thing to do is to put this data set in Excel. So let's do it. Like I said, this side family is just a serial number. We don't need it. We only need the milk consumption, which is the y. This is the y variable right here. This is the x1 and this is the x2, the independent variables. So I'm gonna copy this. When you're copying this, don't put the titles because it might mess up the Excel field. So just start from here. After you can add a title. Okay, Control C. You copy this. Then you go to Excel, open up Excel and paste it there. Okay, now I'm going to make it a little bit bigger so that you can see it better. Okay, that's better now. Now, and I already know that this side is from our chart that they give us. We know that this side is milk consumption. Why? This is the income and family size. So milk consumption, okay, milk consumption. Consumption. Yeah. We got income, then family size. Yeah. Income, and then family size. So I have them. Now, next thing is to get the regression output so that once we get our regression output, we can use it to answer all these questions, these three questions here, they asked us. From the regression output, we can generate the regression equation and then answer these questions here. So we have it in, we can now go to Excel and get the output to do the regression analysis. We have, so what you're gonna do is to click on, okay, my mistake, is to click on data, see data, then go to data analysis, click on that, and then look for regression. Then click OK. Now for the Y, this is the Y, the dependent variable, the milk consumption by the family. So you click on this arrow here and then go to Y, click on here and go all the way down to get all of them. See all the Y column. Click OK. Click right here. Then for the X variable, now we have two variables for X. We have the X1 and X2. Unlike the simple regression where you have only one X, we have X1 and X2. For multiple regression, you might have two or more X variables. So even if it has three of them or four of them, just highlight all the three or all the two. In this case, we have only two of them. I'm going to highlight all the two of the X1 and X2 and click here as well. Now, since when I was highlighting them, I included the labels. This is very important because if you don't include the label in the output, it will not give you the names. So I'm going to check here. So I have the label. Now for the output range, I'm going to click on this spot and just click here. Output range is just simply means where you want it to give you the results. So I'm going to click on here for the output. Okay. Then so next thing is to click OK. So click OK. So it give me the results right here. 1 minute. Rashina. This is Rashina. Okay, Monday. All right. You can see the results. So we're just gonna be using the ones we need to answer the equations, the three questions that asked us. Find the regression equation, interpret the regression coefficients. What is the predicted milk production for a family with annual income of 50,000? Okay, and there's a size of 4 people. Now, with what we have, we can get our regression coefficients. So we're not doing ANOVA, so we don't need this. You do ANOVA if you are doing a testing for the relationship, if you're doing a hypothesis testing for the regression, but we're not doing it today. We're just going to answer the question given. So this is our result. This is what we need here, the coefficient. The coefficient is where you get your B0. This one is the intercept. This one is the income. This is family size. And this is the coefficient that represent them. You can see right there, so I'm going to make the coefficients, make it, I usually like to make it 3 decimal places, but you can make it the number of decimal places that the homework question wants you. So I make it 3. This is B0, this is B1, B2. Let me copy them out so that we can put them in the paper, in our book, then we can be able to answer those questions. B0 is negative 11.503. B1 is 0.399. And B2 is from family size, which is 4.526. So we can now go to our main workbook and use these values to get our regression equation. Solution. So remember that S1 represents the family income and S2 represents the family size. Y is the milk consumption. So the regression equation, because it says find the regression equation. So the regression is the regression equation is Y equal let me before I can put the regression equation, I want to get the values for B0. Remember, we got them from the our Excel output. That this is a B0, the intercept. This is B1, the income. This is for B2 for the family size. And I wrote them out. So let me write them first here before I can. So we have the B0, the intercept equals negative 11.503. Okay, that's our B0. B1 is B1 is let me just bring this student in. Okay, I've seen his name. So B1 equals 0.399, and then B2 equals 4.526. Remember all these numbers, we got them from the Excel output. Remember, don't forget, you can see them here from our Excel output. That's the idea. Okay. Now with this, we can now write the regression equation. The regression equation is, if you look at the general form, it's like this. General form says y equals to B0 plus B1x1 plus B2x2 plus all the way to the last one. So with that in mind, we have our regression equation as y equals B0 is negative 11.503 plus for B1 you have 0.33, 0.399 x1 plus B2 is 4.526 x2. Okay, so where x1 and x2 represent the annual family income and family size respectively. Now, what does this means for our, what does this value, values B0, B1, and it mean in relation to the equation we have? Remember, this is a dairy cooperative that want to examine the household milk consumption based on the annual household income and the size of the family. So what this means? Let's see. For this, we have that the B1 represents this B1. Let's start from here. This 0.399x1. It means the income, that's the income coefficient of 0.399, means that an additional income, $1,000 of annual income. So it is positive. So it means that it tells us that an additional $1,000 of annual income, that's when the annual income increases by additional $1,000. And if we hold the family size constant, it means that when the annual income increases by an extra $1,000, that the family milk consumption will increase at the rate of 4.399 quarts per week. That remains if we hold the family size constant. Now, for this one, for the family size coefficient of B2, which is 4.526, it tells us that for each additional family member we have, and if we hold the family income constant, then the family's meal consumption will also increase by an average of 4.526 quarts per week. Now, why do I keep saying increase? Because they are both of them are negative, are positive. If they're negative, that means it means that they make consumption will decrease. Now, of course, for the this one, the intercept of which is negative 11.503. It means that I mean it is, let's say that it represents the milk consumption for a family with no income and no family members. But the bottom line is that the negative value doesn't really have any meaning. We don't have any observation that's sample that I mean, a family that has no income and no family member. Well, that doesn't mean that person doesn't eat. A person will still eat. So the negative value here doesn't really make sense. So just don't worry about it. So now I have explained what this means. Any question in what we have done so far? Any question? Okay. Now, since there's no question, now we have answered part A and part B. Part A is the regression equation and part B is the interpretation. Now let's do part C. Part C says, what is the predicted milk consumption for a family with an annual income of $50,000 and the family size of 4? So remember, income here is yes, like 45 means 45,000, 55 means 55. So $50,000 means that S is 50. In this case, we say that that's part C. Okay, if X equals 50, that is 50,000. We're going to be using the regression equation to solve this. Remember that our okay, it says this one is for milk consumption for a family with an annual income of 50,000 and the family size of 4. So if annual income is X1, okay, if X1 is 50,000, that means if X1 equals 50, and then we have that X2, which is the family size, is, say, family size of 4, right? 4 people, yeah, it's 4. So with this, we can now estimate the milk consumption for that family. So let me make some little adjustments here. Okay, and then adjust this as well. Okay. Now, remember that the regression equation is y equals this. Okay, y equals that. So you just then plug these numbers into this equation. X1 is 50, X2 is 4. So the milk consumption for a family with that. So you have that y becomes equal. I'll make it bigger. I'll make it 18. So y becomes negative 11.503 plus 0.399. For X1, I got 50. Yeah, plus we have the 4.526. Oh, excuse me, 4.526, not in parentheses. Then X2 is 4. Okay, I put 4 there. And that will give us the milk consumption for the family that have annual income of 50,000 and the family size of 4. Let me write this down so I can put it on the calculator. Y equals negative 11.503 plus 0.399 times 50 plus 4.526 times 4. So let's go and put this in the calculator and see what it will give us. I'm gonna take it to the decimals. So you got negative 11.503 plus we got 0.399 times 50. Okay, plus we got 4.526 times 4. Give me 26.551. Let me write it down. 26.551 quarts. Of course, this is just a 26.551 watts. Now, of course, you know that this is an adjusted number. I will explain in a minute. Watts. So I said that milk consumption is here. If you look at, he says milk consumption measured in quarts. Okay, I can say 21 quarts. It might be 21,000 quarts because all this is in thousands. Oh, actually, it's the income that is in thousands. Okay, 21 quarts. So what we get our answer is 26.551 watts. Okay, I hope I put everything correctly. 4.526. If you look at the charts, the calculator, 26.551 quarts. That's what they got. So that means that the predicted milk consumption for a family with an annual income of $50,000 and a size of 4 people is 26.563 quarts. Any question on this? Any question? Okay. Now, this is there's no need to come to class next week. So, but this is basically the final thing we need to do for this class. And I want to keep you so that I don't want to keep you here so that you have time to do your finish your homework and prepare for the final exam. Maybe we can do one more example, and then that will be it. Now, since there's no question on this one, perhaps we might try another example like this one here. Maybe we can try this. So I won't keep you long. Let's go. As soon as we finish this one, I'll let you go. So you can go and start working on your homework. So look at the question on the screen. It says here that a motion picture industry analysts want to estimate the gross earnings generated by a movie. The estimate will be based on different variables involved in the film production. The independent variable X1 equals production cost of the movie, and X2 equals the total cost of all promotional activities. A third variable that the analysts want to consider is the qualitative variable of whether the movie is based on a book published before the release of the movie. This third variable, because it's qualitative, is handled by the use of an indicator variable X3. X3 equals 0 if the movie is not based on a book, and S3 is equals 1 if the movie is based on a book. So the analyst obtained information on a random sample of 20 Hollywood movies made within the last 5 years. So the inference is to be made only about the population of movies in the particular category. Now, the data are given in the table below. The Y variable is the gross earnings in millions of dollars. The two quantitative variables are also in millions of dollars. That means production costs are in millions, and then promotional costs are in millions. Gross earnings are also in millions. But the book, if the movie is based on the book published, 1 for if it is yes, and 0 if it's not. So they have all this data set here. Let me see if I can make it. You can see right here. Let me see if you can see this very clearly here. Yeah, that's the result. Then the question says, use the above data to answer the following questions. Find the regression equation, interpret the regression coefficients. What is the predicted gross earnings generated by a movie that is based on a book and has production cost of $14 million and promotion cost of $5 million? D, what is the predicted gross earnings generated by a movie that is not based on a book and has a production cost of $14 million and a promotion cost of $5 million? So to answer all these 4 questions here, what we need to do is to do the regression analysis. We are limiting ourselves to the finding the regression equation and then using this to answer, make some prediction. We're not going to do testing, okay, of hypothesis. So again, like I said, the first thing you need to do is to put all this data in Excel. I'm going to make it a little bit bigger. Okay, put them in Excel. Consider the data. Gross earning in millions, production costs, promotion cost, and book. Whether it's the movie is based on a book or not. So now this movie, this is just the serial number. So we don't need this. You don't need the actual data set. Now we're putting you can either type it manually in Excel or you can just copy it. Now when you're copying it, don't copy the titles. You can type them in later. If you copy them together with this, all of this, it will mess up part of the Excel, the cells. So I'm going to copy from here. Do Control C. Now go to the Excel and so Excel right here. I'm going to open a new book. Yep. I'm going to paste it here. Control V. Now we can now type in the titles. Okay. The titles is first one is gross earning, which is the Y variable, and then production cost. You got gross earnings, production cost. Okay, I'm gonna make it so I'm gonna make this bigger so you can see it properly. Yep, that's better. So now next one will be we got the promotion costs, then book. Okay. Promotion cost. Book itself. So the promotion cost is this one. So I can just highlight this just to make it more clear. Okay. I can even bold it so you can see these things. Okay. Have all of them. So next, to be able to answer those questions, those 4 questions, they asked us, find the regression equation, interpret the regression coefficients, and then what is the predicted gross earnings by a movie that is based on a book and has the production cost of $14 million and the promotion cost of 5 million. Okay. Now, okay. So we have remember this is our X1, X2, and X3. Production cost is X1, promotion is X2, book, if it's based on a book, is X3. Okay, let's run the analysis. We're gonna click on data. Okay, just want to make sure you're seeing this. Data analysis. Choose regression, click OK. Now, just because we used it a few minutes ago, it's still having those numbers that we used before. Don't worry about it. Just click on here and go to the gross N, which is the Y variable, all the way to the last one. Okay. Click back here. So that is your Y range. For the X range, you click here. Click here. Okay, just click here. Okay. Then there are three X1, X1, X2, X3. So you're gonna highlight the three of them. See, this is a multiple regression. Okay, now for the check the labels because we highlighted the titles. Then for the output range, I want it to be placed here. So I'm gonna check that. Then we're gonna click OK. Now, give us the results. See the results, output. Now we have this result. Now, we're going to be using only those ones we need for answering our questions, which are the coefficients here. Okay, I want to highlight it. Okay, highlight them. So this one presents the intercept. Sure. Okay, this presents the intercept. This one presents the production cost, promotion cost, whether the film is based on a movie or not. So I'm gonna make them 3 decimal places. I mean, you can make it the number of decimal places that the assignment stipulates. So I'm gonna write them down. We can go there and get our regression equation. B0 equals 8.702. B1 equals this one here, 2.640. B2 equals 2.375. B3 equals 8.040. 8.040. So let us go and put them in so that we can now answer part A of the question. So for part A, we have our okay, let's see. B0 equals okay. Let's see, we have what did I make any mistake here? I didn't make any mistake. I copied everything. Maybe just interference. Anyway, what do we have here? The output. I got 8.702. 702. B1. Give me 1 minute. Let me see. I didn't make any mistake when I was copying. Just give me 1 minute. Where is the results? Okay. Yeah, this is everything right. Okay, let me redo this and see see if I did make any mistake. I'm suspecting something else went wrong. So let me copy it again. Maybe I missed some. I think I missed something. Okay, copy this all the way to the last one. See this last one here. I think I missed this part. Yep, I missed this part. Copy it. If you look at the Excel we have. Yo, I missed 2 lines. Okay. So I'm gonna open a new one, a new book. Press this here. I missed 2 rows. So he was giving a different answer. So this one we're gonna be the estimate gross earnings and production costs. Okay. Gross earnings. Okay, production costs. Yeah, now I'm going to adjust this. Okay. Now the other thing is the promotion cost and book. Promotion costs. And the book. So the first one I did, I missed the last 2 rows. So that's why it was giving me an answer that doesn't look good. So I'm reworking it again. This new data. So I'm gonna adjust this, make it a little bit bigger. Okay, good. Better. I'm gonna make this bold and this. So let's do the test again. Okay. I missed the last 2 rows. Now we click on data, home, data analysis, choose regression. Let's choose regression. Okay. And for this, for the input Y range, I'm going to choose this. Okay. It's right here. I'll go to the last one. Okay. For the input S range, I'm going to choose the 2 independent variables. The 3 independent variables, I mean to say. The 3 independent variables. Okay. Labels, I'm going to check label because I have the titles included. Then for the output range, I'm going to choose here. Then we're not doing confidence interval, so I'm just going to leave this the way it is. Then click OK. Yep, give us better result now. So this we'll be using the ones that we need for our answer. Answer the question. So I'm gonna in 3 decimal places. So like before, I'm gonna copy this out so that we can use it to answer part A, B, and C. So is this B0 equals, you can see that's the intercept right here, 7.836. B1, which is the production cost coefficient, is 2.484. 2.848, sorry. 2.848. And then production cost B2 is 2.278. And B3 is whether the movie is based on a book or not. A story in the book, 7.166. So now we can go to the our main workbook and then use this to derive the regression equation. So B0 is 7.836. Okay. B1 equals 2.848. B2 equals 2.278. B3 equals 7.166. Okay. So I want to make this and this one here and this one here. Okay. Now, so how, with this variable, with this difference value for the slope parameters, we can now write the regression equation. While keeping in mind the general form of the regression equation. Okay, is remember the general form. General form is y equals b0. Excuse me. B0 plus B1 X1 plus B2 X2 plus B3 X3. Okay? That is the general form. Excuse me. B3. So I'm going to make these adjustments. B3 X3. The third variable. The third independent variable. Okay? That's how it's written. It's the general form of the regression equation. So you can now come and start putting all these numbers in. So that means it will be y equals, for the B0 is 7.836. 7.836 plus B1 is 2.848. 2.848x1 plus B2 is 2.278. 2.278 x2 plus B3 is 7.166 x3. So x3, let's say. So I can now make an adjustment for this. Okay. And here, make the adjustments. And here, so this is our regression equation here. Okay. I'll make it bigger. Make it 18. Okay. And make it bold. So that's our regression equation. So we answer part A say find the regression equations. Part B says interpret the result. Now, the interpretation of this, so the first one is to interpret is the B1. Remember that B1 is for the production cost. B2 is for promotion cost, and B3 is for whether the book is based on a novel published before the movie was made, and Y is the gross earning. So let's interpret that better that. B1 is 2.848, which means that actually what it means that for each additional $1 million spent on the production costs, then the estimated gross earnings are expected to increase by approximately 2.848 million. That's what it means for B1. Then B2 is the promotion cost, and it is for the promotion coefficient is 2.278. Now, so the promotion coefficient of 2.278 represents a simple way of saying it, that it represents the change in the estimated gross earnings for a 1 unit increase in the total cost of all promotional activities, meanwhile holding all other variables constant. Yeah, in plain terms, what it means is that for each additional dollar spent on promotional activities, then the gross earning, the expected gross earning, we are expected to increase at the rate of 2.278 million. So in a similar vein, for the B3, you know that B3 represents is 7.166, and it represents the whether the movies from the book published before it was made or not. So for that one, we had that it means that if a movie is based on a book, then it is expected to have an estimated gross earnings of $7.166 million, higher than the movie that is not based on the book. Now, for the slope parameter, for the intercept of 0, so B0, I mean to say, is 7.863. 836, I mean to say, 7.836. What does that mean? We mean that, I mean, in that context, since it is the intercept, so it is the estimated gross earning when all the dependent variables, x1, x2, x3 are set to 0. That means no production cost, no promotion cost, no, it's not, no, it's 0 for not, and I mean, the movie is not based on a book. So in that case, it means that the BO of 7.836 imply that if a movie have a 0 production cost, 0 promotional cost, and it's not based on the book, then the estimated gross earning will increase or will be approximately 7.836 million. Okay. Now, so we answer part B. Now, part C says, what is the before I do part C, any question for me? Can you hear me, guys? Any question for me so far?
I have a question that I want to ask you at the end of the class, but that's a one-on-one conversation.
Okay, no problem. Now, so part C says, what is the predicted gross earning generated by a movie that is based on a book and has a production cost of 14 million and the promotion cost of 5 million. So this is based on a book. That is based on a book. So for based on a book, and it has a promotion cost. See, the production cost is X1 and the promotion cost is X2. So this one has a production cost of 14 million. So X1 is 14 and X2, which is promotion cost of 5 million. And it is based on a book. It's based on a book. So X3 is 1. Because if it's based on a book, we use 1 for that. So let me go and type them in. We'll be using this regression equation to solve it. Let me go and that's part C. Part C will be right here. Let me make it bigger. Make it 18. Part C. So you have the X1 equals 14 and has X2 equals 5 and X3 equals 1. So that's for this we have we can now put this values here. So bring it down. It says question was, what is the predicted gross earnings for generated by a movie that is based on a book and has a production cost of 14 million and the promotion cost of 5 million. So I'm going to write those values down. All we have to do is to plug them into this regression equation and we'll have our answer there. So we're going to be, okay. in that case, we have the gross earnings to be the gross earnings. The gross earnings will be okay. So I'm gonna use this. I'm gonna move this highlighting from this. Okay. So we have gross earning will be y equals 7.836 plus 2.848. S1 for S1 we use 14. So it is 14. 14. Okay. Plus 2.278. X2 for S2 we use 5. Plus 7.166. X3 we use 1. That will give us the gross earning in dollars, millions of dollars. So let me write this down. We go and put them in the calculator. We have y equals 7.836 plus 2.848. That's 14. Okay, plus 2.278 times 5 plus 7.166 times 1. Let us go and put this in the calculator, then we can get our results. So you have 7.836 plus we got 2.848 times 14 plus 2.278 times 5 plus 7.166 times 1. So you got, and it will be 66.264. 66.264. Okay, sorry. 66.264 million. So you can go and put it in the that space. 66.264 million. Oh, excuse me. Million. What happened? Million. Okay. Now that's answer part C. Any question on part C? So no question. Okay, good. Now let's do the last example, which would be part D. Says almost the same type of question, except that this time around, the book is not based on the movie is not based on a book. Say, what is the predicted gross earnings generated by a movie that is not based on a book? When it's not based on a book, we put 0 for it. That's what we did at the beginning. That's what it says here. It says X3 equals to 0 if the movie is not based on a book, and S3 equals to 1 if it is. So we have it's the same question, but that's this time around is not based on the book, on the movie. So all we need to do now is just make it 0, make this one 0. So you can just copy this from here, make X3 0, that's all. And then plug them into this formula to get our right answer. So let me just copy this to simplify our answer. Part D, I'm gonna paste it here. Okay. So we'll just make S1 0. Okay. So that means here, I'm gonna make it 0 here. So now Now we go to our work in a calculator. Just change that past 0. That's all. Times 0, not 1 this time around. I got 59 point, like that. 59.098 million. So our answer becomes 59.098 million. When it's not based, when the movie is not based on a book. Now, if there's no question, I would say yeah, you guys just you can feel free to leave and then continue with finishing your work, your projects, and like I said, by this time tomorrow, I'll have your practice final exam posted in this model. Give me 1 minute. In this model here, I'll show you where I'm gonna post it. So that you can begin to practice those right here. So this one I'm gonna paste it, upload the practice, so you can practice it, so you can figure the similar question that you see on the practice final exam review practice that you see on the final exam. So you practice more of it to get stronger. Other than that, you are free to go. Any question for me?
I got a question.
Yes.
It pertains to the semester project, but is this an individual assignment or can we work in groups?
It's individual. It's semester project.
Oh, okay. And another thing I have concern
And
about the
also,
project.
before you continue, did you see the video I provided for the project?
Yes.
Okay, good. Okay. Now go ahead now.
Um, I was doing it early today, and when I got to the frequency part of the table, I couldn't. What do I do if I can't have any like different numbers? Because like for the numbers I have, the first table I have 30, but I can't go any higher because my data doesn't particularly reach that value. So do I just like repeat the same number or just like leave it blank?
I don't understand the question. Remember, you're supposed to have 30 different set of numbers, right?
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
like so like because this like
If
Paul
there's
is trying to find out.
if the count if there's no number that shows on the count, that means zero. Frequency, zero, no frequency.
Oh, because like for an example, like the number I have goes all the way up to 56, but
Mhm.
but for my lower and bound, it goes all the way to like 224, and it just doesn't reach there.
It shouldn't have 224 when if you have only 30 numbers. Maybe that's something that you have to check the video I made on how to prepare frequency distribution. I made a lot of videos there. You have to look at those and then find out where you're making the mistake. Okay.
Hmm. All right.
Yeah, because I made a but there have to be a mistake somewhere. And I made several videos on that. And as a matter of fact, I posted some of them. I mean, if you can send me a message, you can send me a message in the remind, I can send you one of the videos on how to make the
Mhm.
frequency distribution. Yeah.
All right.
Can you hear me?
Yeah,
Okay, yeah. So that you can use to trace your mistake.
got it.
All right. Any other question?
Yeah, when is the exam date?
The exam date, I will post the message tomorrow morning. I think I did already, haven't I? Hold on.
It's no actual date in the announcement.
Yeah. Hold on, let me see. Okay, I haven't posted the date, so I will post it by tomorrow. I want to make all the confirmation from what the school has. Then I'll post it. and make an announcement on it.
Okay, and what type of exam is it? It's like in
Open
person?
book exam, like, but you have to be taken on Monday because that's how the school want it. The school want it to be taken on the same time that you have class.
But you said it's online though.
Yeah,
Okay.
just like the test. But test, you do normally do your test on Sundays, right?
Yeah.
But this one, you have to be taken on Monday, just the same time that you have a class. So it will be available. Take it.
Okay, and will it be similar to like the homework where you have to put in like the numbers and all that stuff?
Yeah, you do
Follow-
the work, you do the work on paper and then you type in your answer.
Oh, okay, so you don't have to necessarily show your work in the exam.
No.
Okay.
Yeah. But the only difference between this one and the test is that it has more questions and also it's only one chance. There's no two chance on this one.
Oh, is it timed?
Yes, it's timed.
Oh, how much time?
When I put the question, I want to make sure that I put the right amount of time that will be suitable for those questions. So I can't just tell you now because I have not set up the questions.
Okay, and will you be able to put in the announcement as well how many questions?
Yeah, I can do that. Yeah, sure.
All right, thank you.
Okay. So class is over. If you are free to go, if you said unless you have another question for me. Any other questions?
No, I have one for when everybody leaves.
Hello, can you hear me?
Hello?
Can you hear me? Hello?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you, yes. Hello, go ahead.
I want to know, do we have a classwork assignment today?
No, we don't.
Uh,
Just focus on the project. Now, if you is it the question you want to say? Is it something that you can send on an email, or do you want to ask me now? Hello.
Me?
Yeah. What's your name?
Bismarck?
Oh, Bismarck. Oh, I responded to you, right?
No, sir. I said I had a question for when everybody else leaves.
Oh, some people are still here. But maybe they forgot that the class is over. Is this something that you want to send me email for?
I'd prefer to iron it out now, just so I make sure everything is set straight.
Oh yeah. I
And that I
mean,
can address any.
say, many of them have left. I can't push them out. So if you don't have any question, please, if you are free to leave, go, okay, to leave, okay? Yeah, yeah.
Well, I guess since they're not paying attention, I can ask. So, for the classworks that I finish,
Mm.
when I send them, right,
Mm.
can you track the extra assignment? Can you track the things that I did on Google Docs? I mean, not Google Docs, on Google Sheets, because I currently don't have access. Ordinarily, I would be on campus and I would be able to use one of the computers so I could use Excel, but I only have access to Google Sheets right now to be able to complete the extra Excel assignment. Would
Excel,
that still work?
Excel assignments, you have to, I'm not familiar with those Google Sheets. So,
It's
I don't know if I click on your answer, if it will tell me what you did.
right.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
don't
because I
know.
know that it still
So
submits
I'm
stuff and
suggesting that if you
Mhm.
can use somebody, maybe a family friend, or computer some
Right.
Excel.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not really familiar with that. And people say I'm suspecting that there are some people that failed some of that assignment because they use Google Doc.
All right.
Since when I click on the answers, I can't see what they did. It doesn't tell
Right.
me anything. So, and also remember, you can use the public library too.
Right.
Hmm. So if you can complete them by
The 10th.
10th year, I will accept them. Meanwhile, how about the classwork? You have done the classwork, just those ones, right?
I
That's what
did the
I'm waiting for you to finish so I
Right.
can update your
Yes.
grades. See?
Yes. I can actually send, hold on. Let me type
No,
because
I'm talking
I have,
about everything. That I'm waiting for that 10 that I gave you. Once you pass, I will update your grade on all those classwork and
oh,
the
okay.
that I mentioned, assignment that you mentioned in the
Right.
email.
So when I
Our-
submit the
Mhm.
Excel portion and the normal assignment portion that you gave me, then you'll update the grade.
Yeah, I want to. That's
Okay.
what I'm waiting for. Once you submitted everything, I'll just update the grades.
Understood. Okay.
Yeah. For many people, that's what I'm waiting for them to finish, get
Understood.
that deadline. I gave them different deadlines. Once they come in, I'll just update the grades.
Okay.
And that is why I haven't finished grade. I left the other items ungraded.
Right. Okay.
Because there's no point in grading it twice. Just
Right.
wait
Okay.
for them to finish, then I update it.
Understood.
Mm.
All right. Well, thank you very much.
For sure, you're welcome. Yeah.
You have a great day.
You too.
Thank you.
All right, guys, I'm have to let you go now. Class is over. Get ready, do your finish your project, and then have a nice day.